I'm here at the Autosport Show down at the NEC in Birmingham with Claire Hedley, Managing Director of Britcar Endurance. Mention endurance racing to most people and they'll happily tell you Le Mans, maybe Spa, some of the what they call Alms, which is the American Le Mans series, but a lot of people, unless they're dedicated, know that there is an endurance series for, as the name suggests, Britcar, for British cars on British circuits, proper domestic endurance racing. Claire, welcome to Sunday Driver.
Thank you very much. Yes, very, very pleased to be involved. Thank you.
If you could explain exactly what Britcar is. I mean, as an old stager myself, I've heard of Britcar over the years, but I know it's changed over the years, like myself, it's changed quite considerably. Can you just outline what Britcar is?
Britcar basically is for your gentleman drivers. It is endurance racing at UK circuits. We run one-day meetings, 8 rounds of a championship. So we are a full British championship, but not an MSA British championship. We are a British registered club championship. We have all makes of cars, 5 classes, and it's just good close racing. Great fun, and I love it. Very passionate about it.
So how long do the races last? Because endurance to most people, and like to me, endurance means 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours.
Over the years, Britcar has had the whole concept of from 2 hours to 24 hours. 24 hours now, the company has been bought by Creventic, so that is another entity. This year we sort of spoke to customers and found out what they wanted, and they didn't want the 6-hour races, and a lot of the tracks, to be honest, don't want long races unless you've got a good number of grid. Now, because we're a new company, I've taken over Britcar. I've been involved in Britcar personally for many years. I knew the market, so I asked, we did research before we bought the concept, and we decided to keep it small. We were 2 to 4 hours last year, but unfortunately when we went to the 4 hours, our numbers reduced for some reason. Budget's a lot of it, but there were rules within the MSA that anything over 3 hours you had to have 2 drivers. That obviously ruined some of the teams that only single drivers. So this year we've changed it completely to have a 50-minute race and a 2-hour race is the Endurance Championship. Right,
so as you just said then, you don't have to have 2 or more drivers. It can be one driver who drives all the vehicles.
That is correct. We have mandatory pit stops, so it makes it fair. A lot of teams have an hour each, so it can be 2 drivers, but the ruling in the MSA Blue Book is it can be 1 driver.
Now, interestingly, once again, most people think about endurance as Le Mans, the Le Mans prototypes, the really big, very specialist racing cars and sports cars. But Britcar covers a whole host of different types and styles of cars. I mean, on the stand today we've got an Audi R8 and a Honda Civic, which will technically compete against each other, although in different classes. What is the broad spectrum of the vehicles that can be raced in Britcar?
But to be honest, that's why we've got them on the stand. One, the Audi R8 is our Class 1 car, and the Honda Team Synchro is our Class 5 car. So it's a huge spectrum of Class 1 to 5, and hopefully this is just showing exactly why these cars race together. Even the Class 5 love going against these sort of cars. The grid's looking very good for this season, to be honest, because of the show we're putting on. The Brands Night race we've just had back in November emphasised that these cars all go out at the same time. We had a Mini Cooper out there, and then obviously this car actually won the championship, the Audi.
And if you're preparing a car or buying a car for endurance racing, what is the difference, say, between an endurance racing car and, take the Honda as a prime example? Most people know these as the British touring car entrance, and the fact that the Honda won once again in 2016. What is the difference between shall we say, a 20-minute, 20-lap sprint and an endurance version of the vehicle?
That would probably be something we need to just clarify with the team. So we basically would say the fuel tank would need to be bigger. They'd need to have a fuel rig. The tyre budget, because they'd obviously most teams do a tyre change within the 2-hour race. They'd obviously have different brake pads, maybe slightly more hard endurance in wearing, and a little bit of fitness within the guys. I'm not saying the touring car guys aren't fit at all. I just mean that usually it's a lot tougher on the body doing such a longer race.
And the other thing I remember from my days, if you're doing longer races, though they have got faster with modern technology, you tend not to be quite as hard on the cars because, they, for want of a better term, they have to last longer.
Absolutely, it's all about the consistency. They don't always worry too much about the first corner, who gets the fastest. They want to get through it safely, and then they just keep the continuous. And a lot of it's down to strategy with the endurance race. Who pits at what time, which is going to be the faster or the slower driver. They work out what all the other cars are doing. So it's a very different concept to sprint racing.
And how many cars, if somebody wants to go and watch it, how many cars can they expect on the grid of a Britcar race?
I'm going to be very honest. At the moment, we've got 14 signed up for the championship. This has never happened in the Britcar years I've been involved. So we're very pleased. We're aiming minimum 20 at the moment. I'm hoping for a lot more. But as of January, it'll be 20 at the moment.
And because it takes place throughout the UK, which circuits does Britcar make an appearance at?
This year we're at Silverstone 3 times, but we're on the 3 different formats. So the International, National and Grand Prix. We're at Alton Park, we're at Brands, and we're at Donington and Snetterton.
Right. So if you want to get into endurance racing or learn about endurance racing, Britcar is without doubt the way to go. So thanks very much, Claire, for talking to me on Ribble FM this morning down here at the NEC.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Back to the studio.